Hi folks, Rick here. Welcome to my channel. Alrighty, well, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. I'd really appreciate it. Today we're going to be doing a long-term review of this Ricochet swing arm guard. I've been racing with this now on my Raptor here for about 3 years. I've got it all cleaned up. I've absolutely tortured this thing. I do GNCC style hair scrambles here in the Midwest, and I've really tortured this thing for the last 3 years. So it's held up well. It's going on for a 4th season, but let's get this on the bench and we'll take a closer look at it. Okay, so this is a skid plate here for your swing arm. It's a Ricochet skid plate, and I just want to show you here again. I've been racing with this thing on for 3 years now. I do hair scramble racing in the Midwest, and this thing just absolutely gets tortured. And so I thought it would be worth taking a look at this thing. First off, I really like this thing. This thing is just flush up against your swing arm, so it does not take up any extra space whatsoever. This goes right around your axle carrier here. You got a little tunnel here for your linkage, and then this right here on this side here, I believe, is this is your brake rotor side. This here is your sprocket side there. So I've been really happy with this thing here. Again, it tucks up nice. It doesn't take up any ground clearance, and you can just see the abuse that this thing has taken. There isn't a race where this thing hasn't been smashed, clanked, banged, stuff hitting it. It's normally several times per race. This thing, you can just hear the thing, because it's aluminum, you can just hear stuff tinging it back there. And if this wasn't here, that's going to be hitting up against your swing arm. And so, again, this here is a sprocket side. Look at the damage on this thing right here that this has taken. And the nice thing with a guard like this is this keeps your brake rotor here out of the sand. It's not just protecting it from a hit, but it's also protecting it from sand and mud as you're going. But you can see here, this is, look how thick this thing here is. It is super thick aluminum, and it is just absolutely trash. If you look here, look at this edge. This edge here is an extruded edge, so it's like super thick. It is just mushed over here. That's just, I don't know what I was on there doing that one. Here, this is your linkage tunnel. Look at this thing. And that's something hooked on that thing and smashed. That would have been my linkage that would have got caught on. All the scrapes, all that would have been on my linkage. On this side right here, this is the sprocket. Again, this protects your sprocket from mud, sand, and everything else. But look at this thing. It is just terrible shape. I just can't imagine here, what my swing arm and everything would look like if I didn't have this Ricochet thing on here. I mean, it is just, the abuse that this thing takes and keeps going is just absolutely phenomenal. Even back here, this right here is right where your bearing carrier is. Look at this big gashes and stuff like that. All this big pitting, big massive scratches, all that stuff would have been right on my bearing carrier. So this thing here is just held up fantastically. I'm really happy with it. We flipped this thing over here once. It's little, you can see here, look how nice and smooth this is on this side. This is what the other side looked like initially. But yeah, it's got a chain guide on it here. This is all the chain wax from 3 years worth of chain wax and stuff like that. It's difficult to get off. I'm not really trying to clean the thing. I'm just really trying to get it, the big chunks off so I can really inspect it here. But this thing has absolutely been fantastic. It's going on my bike again for a 4th season. I've been really happy with it. But, you can just see here the abuse. And it's kind of a record of this stuff. So if you're looking for some type of a swing arm guard, make sure the one that you get, well, one, you want one that tucks up tight. Not all of them do. A lot of them hang down, and that's a problem. And no one likes a swing arm guard because they take up a lot of ground space. This one really doesn't. It's awesome on that one. It sits right up flush against your swing arm, doesn't take up any space. But you also want one that can take this kind of abuse, because if it doesn't take this abuse, then your sprocket, your swing arm, your rotor, it's going to be taking the abuse, and you're going to be sitting there with a lot of expense and sitting alongside the trail. So you got to have something there that's absolutely bulletproof. And I tell you, I can't tell you anything better than this thing right here. It is some of the stuff that I've gone over. You can see here just just how bad this is, and this is some of the aircraft grade aluminum and super thick. If it can do it to this, imagine what your swing arm would look like, or your sprocket would look like if you hit something like that. So if you're looking for a really good swing arm skid plate, one that doesn't take up a lot of space and one that can absolutely handle the abuse, check out this one from Ricochet. It is absolutely fantastic in my view. Take care.